What's up, pretty little liars fans? I'm CandidCrandell, and today we are talking about the summer finale, season 4, episode 12. Let's just get this collectively all out of the way right here, right now. What the fuck? What? It is officially World War A, and this episode so delivers. The girls receive a package of magic 8 balls from A that say if she goes free, you'll hear from me. Meaning that if Ashley Marin goes free, that Cece, or whoever Redcoat is going to come after the girls. Emily is totally ready for this and says bring it on. She is so ready for A to stop messing with their parents. Honestly, I am too. Fight fair, A. What am I saying? A, fight fair. Ezra is talking about the power of love at first sight. Him and Arya. Ezra tells Arya that he was really thankful that she came over and talked to him and that he didn't know how to ask for her to come over, but he really needed her. Arya says that it was no problem, that she was so glad that she could be there for him as a friend. Whoa. Arya Montgomery, did you just friend zone Ezra Fitz? She gets a call from Jake. Boo. And they're supposed to have a date that night, and Arya wants to go to a poetry reading. Jock Jake is like, I don't really want to go to a poetry reading. Can we do dinner and a movie? Jake is not the one for you. Travis looks at a lineup at the police station that Ashley Marin is in. He needs to correctly identify her as the woman that he saw leaving the crime scene before Wilden was shot. He must have done it because the DA comes over and tells Ashley Marin that the charges against her have been dropped. Woo! There's a weird moment between Caleb and Travis in the police center where Caleb gives Travis a nod. Another package is delivered to the girls from A. This time it is a kid's coffin. What a great thing to have. And inside, there's a Mona doll. The girls get a text from A saying that they need to find Mona before the police do, or the police will think that they killed her. Cece is officially a suspect in Wilden's murder case. Her face is all over the news, and it is just a matter of time until someone finds her. I think that Cece is not at the top of this whole thing, and that's why she's the one getting thrown under the bus, because A is just too smart to have their face plastered all over the television, I feel. Mona is no longer a patient at Radley. However, they will not tell Hannah where she went or if she's just completely out and about. Spencer goes to visit Ren at his house, and his house is full of boxes and no one appears to be home. There's luggage everywhere and it looks like he's moving. We find Shauna boxing up Ren's things. Okay, how does Shauna even know Ren? Sketchy. Toby decides, while looking through a box of his mother's things, that he no longer cares what A's version of her death is. Shauna is at the brew filling out forms, and when she leaves, she drops a few. Toby picks them up, and they are mailing forms. Probably for the boxes that she was packing up at Ren's house. And guess where she's sending them to? London. And guess who is currently living in London and who Ren is moving in with? Melissa Hastings. What are those two doing going to London if they are not involved? I don't trust them at all. Lame Jake falls asleep during the movie that he and Arya are watching. Typical. After their date ends early, Arya decides to go over to the poetry reading that she initially wanted to go to, and who does she see there? Ezra Fitz. They talk and hang out, and she kisses him, but they totally don't make a big deal out of it, and they pan out and you see Redcoat watching them kiss. Of course Redcoat saw. Of course she did. Or he, or whoever they are. Maybe it's a dog, I don't even know. Arya asks Ezra how the poetry reading was, and he describes it as intense. He says that the poem reminded him a lot of Arya's story called Found But Lost about a cat. He's like, yeah, I always thought that story was about Allison. Does he even know Allison? Ezra Fitz, who are you? I'm starting to get a little creeped out. Emily is spending the night at Paige's so that Paige can make sure that she's safe and so that Emily doesn't have to sleep in Allie's creepy room anymore. I still feel like she could have done a little bit more in terms of digging for clues while she was there. Anyone? The girls receive a third and final gift from A, which is a black box with a saw inside. It's a magician's box. And on the saw it says, "Watch me make a girl disappear, A." Of course, the girls go online and decide to look up magic shows in the area. If A's gonna make a girl disappear, then we definitely need to go to wherever that is. They find a magic show by the Great Charlemagne happening in Ravenswood. Ooh. Okay, this Great Charlemagne magic show is perhaps one of the creepiest things that we've seen on here thus far. We see our old friend Carla Grunwald, we see this creepy guy watching the girls, and the magician mime looks kind of familiar. To me, at least. I think it's Ezra. I had to watch it twice, but I am pretty confident in my assumption that Ezra is the mime magician. So when he picks Arya to be his assistant for the girl in the box thing, it makes kind of sense. Arya is super nervous about going in the box. She's even like, really, I don't do boxes. After what happened on the Halloween train, I do not blame her. Arya ends up having to go in the box. She's fine, but Emily gets taken. Dun dun dun! The girls get a text from A in French that essentially means sleight of hand. So while they were distracting the girls with Arya being in the box, A was able to take Emily. Emily wakes up and she is in a box with a cell phone. This totally reminds me of that movie, I think it's called Buried, where that dude is in the Middle East and he gets buried in a box with nothing else but a cell phone, and he's trying to like figure out and describe to the people like where he is before he dies of suffocation in a box. It was a lot like that, except this time the box was going towards a giant table saw and was going to saw Emily in half. Redcoat comes to the rescue by stopping the saw. So wait a minute, is Redcoat good or is Redcoat bad? I don't know, but I do know that there are two Redcoats. One of them is Cece Drake. But I think that Cece Drake is the decoy Redcoat. The girls split up and chase after the two redcoats. Spencer chases after the one whose face we have not seen, and Arya chases after the one that ends up being Cece. Cece tries to climb a rope to escape from Arya, and the rope ends up breaking and she falls to her death? She definitely like gets up and moves like right after she falls when the girls look away, so I don't think Cece Drake is dead. It was only like a 10-foot fall, maybe limping a little, but she's okay. The girls go to where the other redcoat was leading them, A's super lair. There are pictures of Allie plastered all over the walls. There are timelines for each of the girls on whiteboards. It's very neat, it's very organized. There's a supercomputer sitting there where A has clearly been monitoring the police, the streets, their home alarm systems. A has literally been everywhere. Hannah steals a journal off the desk in A's lair. I think that that is going to be extremely significant in the future. Shauna is meeting Mona at a bed and breakfast. Mona is very much alive and very much okay, or so it seems. Spencer finds A's bank account information. It turns out that they have created an entire corporation, like an LLC. The company itself is called Shabby, which was Allie's favorite beach at Cape May. And they see that Cece Drake is on the payroll. She was paid twice recently. While the girls continue to snoop through A's lair, they find a closet full of sports coats, which leads them to believe that maybe A isn't a girl, but a guy. This is where I started to get extremely nervous.
It was an older guy, maybe Ian or Ren. He's been hanging out with Shauna in his bathroom.
Oh, I can't deal with it. It's gonna be Ezra.
Is this who he's working for?
I can't handle it if it's him. I can't do it. It probably is though. Apparently A has still been following Allie, and he followed her all the way to Ravenswood. They see an invitation to a party that A thinks that Allie is going to be at, and they decide to try and find it. On their way to the party, Carla Grunwald finds them and stops them and tells them that the party is invitation only and that it is extremely dangerous for them to be trying to follow her. Of course she means Allison De Laurentiis. She does know her. She lied back when Spencer first came to see her, and she says that she lied to protect Allie. It turns out that Carla Grunwald is a medium of sorts. She has the gift of insight, and she was helping Allie that summer to find out who was threatening her. On the night that Allie went missing, Carla Grunwald was the one to pull Allie from the dirt. That clip that we saw of a hand grabbing another hand that was coming up out of the dirt, that hand was Allie's hand, and it was real. She did come up up out of the dirt. The question that everyone else is asking now that Emily poses is, if Allie's alive, whose funeral did we go to? Carla Grunwald hasn't seen Allie since the night that she pulled her from the dirt. She still feels like Allie is alive and is out there trying to figure out who she can trust. Carla says that the girls are being watched and that it is not safe for them to try and find Allie because he is following them. He's thinking that the girls are going to lead him to Allison. Who is this he? Who is this he? They see a costume shop and Aria says, we're gonna go crash a party. They go in, and out from the shadows comes a man. This man continues to walk into the lair, and when this man turns around, we see the face of Ezra motherfucking Fitz. Oh, bitch. I just don't know what to think. There have been so many people that they've made seem to be A in the past that I don't necessarily want to take this at face value. But maybe I also don't want to take it at face value because I love Ezra and Aria together. There are so many questions spinning around about this Ezra theory. I would love to talk about it more in depth, and I think it deserves its own video. So next week, I am actually going to be doing a video all about whether or not it is possible for Ezra to be A. What was your reaction to all of the bombshells dropped last night? I was screaming at my television. I had to eat a lot of pizza because I was sad. If you don't already, you can follow me on Twitter. My username is CandidCrandell. You can also follow me on Tumblr, username CandidCrandell. And you can follow me on Instagram, username, you guessed it, CandidCrandell. I put out videos every Tuesday and Thursday on my channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Bye.